Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Uh, Yes, perfect.
How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. How are you so far?
I'm good, thank you. It's an interesting day today.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Remember the Euro USD trade we wanted yesterday? Do you remember it?
Yeah,
Well, it did exactly what we were expecting.
yes,
Did you manage to?
right, dropped at the right time.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah,
manage?
I put an alarm on there yesterday.
Oh, that's very nice. If you caught it, I'm very proud. I'm
Yeah,
very proud.
thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks.
I actually think you might you might actually get a chance to catch it for the second ride. You see this area right here?
Yeah,
Since,
yeah.
since price, since price is broken out of that range, and you can look even on the breakout right here, right? Price dropped,
Mm-hmm.
broke out of this range, right?
Mm-hmm.
So since price gave us this candle, it is a rejection candle, but then it closed below and it closed bearish. So I can say price is still pretty much bearish. However,
Mm-hmm.
we had a breakout around this area, right?
Yeah.
We could say yes, this is the retest, and then this was the impulse drop, right? So now we have, let's say, one impulse and then two impulse, right? So we need another impulse which can lead price to maybe possibly this area. So what we want now, price could keep on dropping from here, that's very much possible, but what would be nice is if we could get price to retrace a little bit, right? Create a new high, and then we enter
Mm-hmm.
for the four, and then we enter
Okay.
the last impulse. So what we need to see, or what we need to figure out, is where could it retrace to, because right now price is pretty bearish. It's been bearish since market opened. So we can only say
Mm-hmm.
this is the only bullish movement it did today. And remember what we discussed about small candles and big candles. The smaller the candles are, the
Yeah.
less bullish pressure we have, and these were very tiny. So we can pretty much say
Yeah.
today should be a bearish day again. So we can say price could drop from here.
Mm-hmm.
If it does, we need an entry, and even if it drops from here, I would still pretty much say we need to look for an area where price could potentially create a new high. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say probably around this area. If you can see this area, let me highlight it for you. Around
Yeah.
this area, if price could pull back a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and then fall, even if it doesn't reach this area, as long as it creates a new high, but a very nice area to see it fall from, it would be around this area, because if you see this, it tried rejecting, right? um this candle
Mm-hmm.
close around this area, and you have this tiny candle, this inside candle, right? It's playing around this area, and then you have this candle, it pulled up first, left the big wick, and then it dropped. So this would be a nice area for price to retest, for it to push lower. So we'll probably get something like this, and then price will push lower.
Yeah.
Oh, but however,
Thanks.
if this candle, or if this 30-minute candle actually was to close below below this low, right, we could expect price to keep on dropping, because right now we could say maybe it's doing a weak fill, right, and then give us the pullback. But if it's not doing the weak fill and it's continuing with the trend, then we need the candle to close below this low that it created, and you can enter for price to keep on going lower. So since it's just before New York session, the New York opening might be the one that pushes price all the way down. So I would enter with a smaller, if you use a big lot, just a little bit smaller, because as much as New York session might push price down when it opens, it can also give us that pullback. So this could be the last efforts to trap people, right, before they push price higher. So with that theory, or this could be the move to push price all the way here, and then maybe we can see price pulling back from this low.
Okay.
Yes. So I would say if this 30-minute candle can close below, you can, if you're entering, you can enter with a small lot, because right now this is the movement that it has given us today. All of the bullish candles are very tiny.
Yeah.
All of the bearish candles are very big. So this says price has less chances of pushing higher, unless if something happens, something big happens, then we might see price push higher. But for now, all the odds are pushing price lower. Yes, so that's a very nice trade that should be coming right now.
Nice.
And then if we look at our gold, you might catch a very nice trade again today. Now if you look at our 4-hour time frame, right, I want you to take note of this candle. So you see this candle, right? It retested area and rejected, and it created support, right? And we all know that gold always retests. So we could say this was the move up and this is the retest, right? As you can see, this candle reached and quickly rejected. So we have that theory that this could be just a retest to push price higher. However, yeah, exactly. But we have been looking at for a sell for a long time on this thing. It needs to sell before it can push high, because if we look at that weekly time frame, right, we have seen we now have 4 bullish candles. I do understand that price could keep on going higher, but we need price to create new support before it can push any higher, because the only support we have on the weekly time frame is this support. So, and right now price is at a resistance, and we both know that for price to keep on going higher, it needs to create new lows and new highs. So we need price to create a new low. So that would tell me that at some point gold should drop. So if gold should drop at some point, right, I would expect it to give us a drop from, if it can break this low. See, the low that I'm saying we should watch out for, that 4-hour candle low that was created, it should be around here. Okay, I'll put it on the 4-hour time frame, right? And then I'll put the low right here. And then let's go on our 1-hour time frame. If price can break below this low, we should see price drop for a long time. So if we look at where price is at right now, we have a very small range that's going on, right? So we have this high and this low and this low, and price has been around this the high and the low, right, for quite some time now, right? So we could have simply looked at this as the weak fill, but if this was the weak fill, we should have seen price pull up already. So that gives us the idea that price will most likely fall. Even if you look at the candles around the range, the bullish candles are slightly smaller than the bearish candles. Price is still giving us that bearish pressure. So since price is still giving us that bearish pressure, right, we need price to close below this low to push price lower, right? But here's the tricky part. If price was to break out from this range and then drops to this point, it could easily give us that weak fill to push price higher. But if price had already touched this area, right, and then it came back into this range, let's say it dropped and then it came back and then created this range, right, and then it created this range, then we would say yes, probably price should rise. But right now it hasn't touched this low, so yes, the drop might come, but we don't know what's going to happen around this area. Either price will reject it or will push price lower. Because
Mm-hmm.
because if you think about it, right, why hasn't price reached this low, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if we look at our theory of how price creates a low, pushes higher, comes back to create a new low, and then pushes higher. This could be what's happening right here. Price created a low, pushed higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, created a new low, and this low could push price higher.
Yeah.
So I would say a possibility of this weak fill is very much possible because we need price to retest before it can push lower. So we could have, let's say, maybe a retest for this area, and if you see price rejecting this low, then you enter buys aiming for this weak fill. And then for this week fill, if you were to see price rejecting this week fill, then that would push price lower. Does that,
Gotcha.
does that make sense? Because if you look,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but if you look at the daily candle, right? The daily candle really didn't give us that much of a big upper wick. So if we
Yeah.
don't have a big upper wick, then we know that there is a case where we could get that big upper wick, or we could have price falling from here. So since New York session is coming soon and price haven't done anything major around this area, I'm guessing price is waiting for New York session. So New York session is going to be a lot of things are going to happen because right now, if markets are quiet now, that means New York session will trend.
Yeah.
That's always something that you have to keep in mind. So if you wake up in the morning and you want to see if there's a trade for London session, right? Just check
Yeah.
if Asian session was ranging or trending. If Asian session was ranging, then London's
Mm-hmm.
opening of London session would trend. If Asian session was trending, then opening of London session will range. So if pre New York is ranging, then New York session will most likely trend.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so from that trend, you just need to see where price is at just before New York session opens. So if just before 2 o'clock price is at this low, then we can expect price to give us a fake out and then come back into the range. But if price is at this high, then you can expect it to give you maybe a fake out to this point and
Mm-hmm.
then and then drop.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, so just keep those 2 points in mind. Right now price is ranging, so that have created our sense for New York session. So all you need to see is if price is at this low or if price is at this high.
All right. Gotcha.
So if it's at a low, it's most probably going to go higher. If it's at a high, it's probably going to go lower, but wait for the fake out.
Yeah.
Yes, the same thing that happened with Euro USD yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when I said price has high chances of trying to retest this before it falls. That's what it did.
Pause. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
retested the high, and then when it
Yeah.
came back into the range, you knew your trade was good to go.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Nice.
think I think for Euro USD, since you've already caught this, now you need to wait for this to create a new high, and then
Yeah.
price can fall. And then for gold, you just need to wait for price to tell you what's happening just before New York session.
Yeah. All right. I will be watching this.
Yes. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm taking these two for sure.
All right. And then keep in mind that remember that Euro USD theory that we have, that price could come back to retest this area and then push
Mm-hmm.
up. If you see price coming back to create a new high and then it comes
Mm-hmm.
back to break this high, it comes back and closes above this high that it created early this morning,
Yeah.
then don't look for sales because now price is rejecting the low. It's telling us that price is trying to push higher a little bit. It will push higher before it can go down, but I'm against price pushing higher for now, because if you look at this, right, price created a high here,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then this candle could have stayed in this range and closed with the body in this range, but it didn't. So this was price creating a new high here, and that pushed price lower. So if price breaks out of this low and it starts trading below this low, all we need now is for price to do what we were expecting it to do yesterday, to retest and then push price lower.
Yeah.
Yes, but then with the way our 4-hour candle closed, it's a very strong candle. It's telling us that price is very bearish. So you might not have to expect the retest to be that huge. Even a small retest is fine, as long as it gives us some sort of a retest and then pushes price lower.
Gotcha. All right.
Yes. Is there any pair that you want us to look at?
This week I'm just focusing on these two actually, gold and EURUSD.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You should also see on the 4-hour candles, right? You can use the
Yeah.
4-hour candles to get a sense of where price is trying to go.
Okay.
Yes, but if you look at this 4-hour candle, right? This 4-hour candle is telling you that price is very bearish, right? So all you need to do is to wait for that to retest and then complete this weak fill right here, right?
Yeah.
If we look at 4-hour candle on gold, on gold, right, we can see how price, when it did the big first fall, right, you can see how price was strong, but the next 4-hour candles that are following, they are not strong.
Yeah.
That's what concerns me. Like, they are not strong. So what if price is doing the same thing that price did around this area? If you see what I mean.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying probably price will give us a fake out, dip out again, complete the weak fill, and then pull price back up.
Up. Yeah.
Was that area is what concerns me. The same area it did here, it could be doing it here. And if we
Right.
were to put our trend line, right, price is sitting right there, we could say it has broken out. Yes, there is a possibility of that, but our previous 4-hour candle, right, did not close the way we wanted it to close. It's not strong. It's not that weak, but it's not strong.
Yeah.
And it closed bullish, I think. But yes, and there's one thing that I do know about candles like this on gold. If gold gives you a candle like this without a body and it's at a resistance or a support, it's most likely reversing price.
Gotcha.
I have seen it do it in more times than you can imagine. It's most likely reversing price. So
Oh, yeah.
if price is giving us this candle like this here, I'm expecting for price to fake out, complete the weak view, and then pull back up. If it doesn't fake out, right, and it even comes back to close above this area, don't enter just yet. Wait for price to close above this area, and then you
Yeah.
trade it for the weak fill, only for the weak fill.
All right.
Yes, only after price is closed above this area, then you can enter for a long-term buy. But for now, you are only trading it for the weak fill. If you want to have a position for a long-term buy at this low, right, you have to have your trade on break even, because I know price needs to close above this area, and since this area was retested yesterday and got rejected, this area is very strong.
Right.
It won't just break just like that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh,
So I will be watching so that I can tell you as soon as I see the trade happening. But I also want you to be watching so that you can catch it on your own.
Yeah, definitely. I will be watching.
Yes. Alright. Since you don't have any questions, and I think you're learning new stuff as you go, right?
Yeah, definitely. With these two pairs, now that I want to focus on these two pairs, I'm learning a lot.
Yes, that's good. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's all for today.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Are you okay with that?
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. That was nice.
All right,
That's
sure.
all I needed. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
hope you have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Enjoy your day. All right. Talk tomorrow.
All right, sure.
All right.